Dallas. First, the Cowboys were eliminated from the playoffs with the Eagles win Saturday night. Then Dallas lost 34-17 at home to the Chargers on Sunday, guaranteeing they won't finish with a winning record. While Jerry Jones may be disappointed in the outcome this season, he hasn't lost belief in the Cowboys' plans for the future. Here's what he had to say, quote, "I'll admit that the Cowboys management has played a big role," obviously referring to the 30-year Super Bowl drought. "But seriously, I'm very disappointed that the way we're structured and my role puts us here tonight. I'm tremendously disappointed. We've got a team that I think has got a top future as far as next year is concerned, starting with the offense, starting with that we stand here tonight. And I think that we've got the bones of a heck of a defense out there as well." We don't usually hear Jerry Jones take ownership of things that go wrong down in Dallas. I know that you look a little skeptical about this. How do you hear him first and foremost? And then do you believe him when he says the Cowboys or intimates that the Cowboys aren't that far away from being competitive?
I do not believe him, but I do believe the fact, and I quote, "I'll admit that the Cowboys management has played a big role of where we are right." I admit, man, we don't used to hear Jerry Jones say that, that the Cowboys management has played a role of big. I admit, hey, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, you're the reason why the Dallas Cowboys are in this position. In famous words of Stephen Anthony, we should start calling them the Alice Cowboys because they have no D in there. Whoa. Now, what I will say is this. The Jimmys and Joes are impacted by Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones. You want to hear this stat? Cover your ears. Any Dallas Cowboys fans, total defense, they rank 29th. They give up anywhere from 374 yards or upwards. Pass defense, they're dead last with 254 yards per game. Rush defense, they're 18th. Wow. Tough. Middle of the road. They're giving up 120 yards at minimum. And scoring defense, they're 31st, where they've given up 30 points per game. When we went to Dallas earlier this year, Stephen Anthony and Michael Big Play Playmaker Irvin was saying what Dak Prescott had to do. What team is capable of putting up 30 points a game in any type of capacity? A team that has good bones on three versions of football, or three phases of football, offensively, defensively, and special teams. As an offensive mind, I'm saying to myself, hey, bro, if we could score 21 points, potentially 24 points, bro, we should dominate. You mean to tell me you're asking that Quavius Prescott to score a 30 ball every game? How do we get here? It's because of Jerry. It's because of Steven. And they played a bigger role with that because they make all the decisions.
Dakota Prescott, but I like the Quavius better. Yeah. All right, so they've got the Commanders and the Giants remaining, but they will finish with a losing record this year. Like, how do you hear Jerry in all of this as he tries to shine this, make it look a little bit better than it ultimately is?
Well, listen, I appreciate his forthrightness in saying and admitting that, yes, I played a huge role in where we sit at with this 30-year drought of not winning the Super Bowl. But just talking specifically about this year, I will say this. I give Jerry props for elevating Brian Schottenheimer. I actually think Brian Schottenheimer was a good hire for Jerry in-house. I think he's done well for this organization. I think he's brought something different to the Dallas Cowboys. But here's where I fault him at. Because they are so control-centric, and I'm talking about Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones. They're the ones that hired Matt Eberflus, the defensive coordinator. And what side of the ball has done in the Dallas Cowboys? The defense. So, listen, if you're Jerry Jones, here's what I would say. Let Brian Schottenheimer hire his staff, the guys that he wants to hire, okay? Because right now on the defense side, they got to figure out if Matt Eberflus is the guy with the personnel that the Dallas Cowboys have that can take the Cowboys where it needs to go. Obviously, in year one, he clearly not the guy. So they got to make a decision on that personnel decision for the Cowboys coaching staff.
I mean, he said they have the right bones, strong bones for this defense.
Man, we don't want to hear that.
But play calling, the way that defense has played.
You were literally scoring 30 points a game, and you finding yourself eliminated from the playoffs, which is absolutely ridiculous.
There ain't no bones. There ain't no bones.
Let's talk about a team that has good bones pretty much everywhere. That's the Jacksonville Jaguars. They snapped the Broncos' 11-game win streak with an impressive 34-20 victory in Denver on Sunday. Trevor Lawrence had another huge game for Jacksonville. In their sixth straight win, he threw for 279 yards and 3 touchdowns. And in his past 2 games, Lawrence has led the league in total QBR and passing touchdowns, while also ranking in the top 5 in passing yards. He's run for 2 touchdowns and is one of 3 quarterbacks over the last 2 weeks to rush for multiple touchdowns. So, we've been talking about this since 2021.
Yep.
Has Trevor Lawrence Cam finally arrived?
Man, I've been sleeping on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I ain't gonna lie.
I think most people know.
Man, listen. Well, I need to drink this espresso and wake up on them, because when you start to think about why you should wake up for the Jacksonville Jaguars, they are a team that beat Denver. In Denver. They are also a team that beat the Texans. They are also a team that beat a 49ers team in San Fran. They beat a Kansas City Chiefs with a healthy Patrick Mahomes, might I add. And then they beat the Indianapolis Colts. All these teams are in contention or have some type of flair that we said this will be the judging metric to judge any team. They've beat them all. In large part because of Trevor Lawrence. Now, this is what I will also add about Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is an individual that ever since he stepped into the NFL, he's had this expectation. Hey, he's the highly touted, a prospect that we haven't seen since Andrew Luck or John Elway. Yeah, bro, but what does that postseason success look like? And when you are so talented, that gift needs to start giving residuals for your participation on a team. And that's where we're going to judge Trevor Lawrence. If anything else, nothing else matters. We know that you're capable. To see you perform at this level is just a cherry on top. But now take the whole Sunday away, and when it comes down to playoff football, that's what we're going to judge you, and that's going to have the lasting impact for your career as a whole.
Can I talk about another person? We talk about Trevor Lawrence has been playing outstanding, but I think that what's been behind Trevor Lawrence having this type of season, Liam Cohen.
Sure.
The head coach.
Coaching matters.
I've said it many a times. Coaching matters more so in football, in my opinion, than any other sport. Look at what Liam Cohen has done for Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has always been talented. Trevor Lawrence in high school was talented.
Was that guy.
He was that guy. Coming into Clemson, he was that guy.
Yep.
Okay? But now you see when you have superior talent combined with coaching, what it can do for you, particularly confidence. What I see with Trevor Lawrence is he's confident. He knows what he needs to do out there. And I saw a guy who was a playmaker on the road. Denver is not an easy place. Matter of fact, Denver is one of the hardest places to play in the National Football League, combined that with their defense. None of that fazed him.
Yeah.
He got sacked 5 times. None of it has fazed him. And the reason I bring up Liam Cohen is because the mark of a really good coach is not only the effect of what he's doing with Jacksonville, but also where he was before. Look at where Tampa Bay is offensively now that Liam Cohen is left. They're a shell of themselves offensively. So to me, that is the mark of a really good coach that leaves an imprint on a lot of good players, especially the way Trevor Lawrence is playing right now.
Well, there's a common theme here of all the quarterbacks we've been talking about this morning, whether it's Drake May and Josh McDaniels, Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, and Trevor Lawrence. Good coaching helps quarterbacks take that next step. Now, obviously, Trevor Lawrence isn't in his second year like the other 2 quarterbacks, but it matters. And it matters because those teams, 2 of them, are in the postseason. Jaguars right on the cusp of it. So certainly, I think the generational label hurt him going in, and that's why I think we need to retire that word because it puts unfair expectations on a guy. But when you can get that right coaching matchup, you get to see shades of that talent that we expected to see from the very jump years ago.
As you guys mentioned, and not to beat a dead horse, I'll say coaching does matter, right? You're seeing a version of Trevor Lawrence that we all knew existed but have not seen enough. Well, when he first came into the league, it was Urban Meyer. Or, whatever that experiment was, and then you have another.
Think how much that set him back.
Oh, my goodness. I'm talking about detrimental.
Right.
So
he's lucky he's still in the league when you think about it.
But how many times, and we've seen this often, where it's not to say that person is a bust or a bum or not capable or competent. It's like, bro, your coach has major impact of how you grow and develop into the best version of yourself. So what Liam Cohen is doing, what Ben Johnson is doing, what Mike Vrabel is doing, for these young quarterbacks, the Drake Mays, the Caleb Williams, obviously Trevor Lawrence of still being a young player, that has major trajectory of how high they ascend, and I'm excited to see their growth.
All right.